Meditation can really help tinnitus, but if you are really struggling at the beginning, you're going to need much stronger distractions and calmants than meditation. A lot of people say that when they sit in a quiet room, it's almost impossible to meditate because they're focusing on the tinnitus and that's getting in the way. So, first of all, really help yourself settle down with quite strong interventions, other people helping you, body-based practices, because this can help clear the mind and help the body relax enough for you to focus. When we are struggling with tinnitus, especially at the beginning, and we're in a real state, it's very hard to focus on anything. So jumping into cold water or having a powerful massage is going to be much more relaxing. And eventually you can drop into the space of being able to sit on a cushion alone, switching everything off just by yourself for half an hour or 10 minutes. And for most people, this is challenging because we switch off all the stimulation and we sit, and the first thing we notice is the sense of self. We can notice the thoughts and the feelings and how the monkey mind is grasping and grabbing onto anything and hopping around all over the place. It can be quite challenging the first time we sit with ourselves and just watch what on earth is going on. And a lot of people run away from this and spend their whole lives avoiding this. But if you're able to meditate, I really recommend going to a Buddhist center or meditation center and learning how to sit. And principally, there are two different forms of meditation in the Buddhist tradition anyway. You have the Samatha Meditation, which is learning to develop a single focus of attention. So for example, you're sitting comfortably and you're just tracking the air coming in and out of your nose. So you're learning to sustain your focus of attention on the breathing as it's coming in and going out of the body. As you do this, your mind will hop around, you'll get lost in thought, distracted, think about supper, worry about X, Y, and Z. But the practice is just to gently come back to the breathing. And with time, you can learn to really focus your attention on this so that there is just the breathing and all the other stuff's going on, just the breathing and all the other stuff is going on in your mind. But the more you become aware of this, the more you can just become aware of all the thoughts passing through. So it gives you like a stable platform of awareness from which to look at everything else going on. It's an incredibly helpful tool, and specifically for tinnitus, learning to really focus your attention in one part of the body is brilliant because you're taking your mind off the ringing and you're putting it somewhere else. And at the beginning, if you're in a real state with tinnitus, you're probably going to need much stronger body-based practices. So vigorous rubbing, jumping up and down, shaking, cold baths, stretches, rolfing, deep tissue massage. These will help ground you and settle you. But if you can get into meditation where you're just sitting with the breath, noticing that, staying with that, is very, very helpful. And the other form of meditation, which is really interesting, there are many kinds of meditation, but these are the two main ones, is Vipassana Meditation, which is just seeing things as they are. So you sit, get into a really comfortable position, and you just watch what is happening. So you'll have feelings, you'll have thoughts, the body will do something, you'll be distracted by various things. All you're doing is you're just surfing through the experience. You're watching the experience arise and unfold in every moment. This happens, then that happens. Now you feel this, then you feel something else. And learning to see everything as an arising, emerging process is incredibly helpful because you start to surf on top of awareness and you have a perspective from which you are witnessing everything rather than getting lost inside it. So stepping back and witnessing the self is really interesting, because if you hang out in witness mode for long enough, you can start to see the self as something that is just a thing that's reacting to everything else and nothing more, nothing less. I really recommend learning within a tradition. So Buddhism is wonderful, Sikhism is wonderful. There are many fantastic traditions that teach meditation, spiritual traditions, within the wider frame of spirituality. And this is a tremendous resource. A lot of people are learning to meditate on an app. That's great, and you can develop really good skills and develop mindfulness, which is like finding an oasis in the middle of a desert. There's a little pond of water. You can get into that, and that can be very useful. But compared to the ocean of resources that you get from Buddhist Dharma or other spiritual traditions, especially when you have a master or a teacher who's connecting you to the true nature of mind, whatever that is, but there's something vast and immeasurable in that. That's a huge and vast resource, which has changed my life. It's really helped me connect with a sense of peace, and it's a very big, deep resource that all of this work has led me to, and I really encourage anybody else to find that. An app is nice, it's great, it's useful, but sitting in a group of people meditating together, being held in a holding field of the teacher or the teaching, is something completely different. It's much more profound, much more useful, and it's good to get away from the wretched iPhone or whatever it is and just really bask in a big, nourishing resource of a group, a meditation field. So I think meditation is amazing. It's life-changing. I don't know how on earth I managed to survive without meditation before. I just got lost in it. I got lost in the suffering, the struggle, the tinnitus, you name it. Now I can sit back and watch. I still get lost in it from time to time, but meditation has really helped me step back and get a very different perspective. And it's opened up a whole new level of awareness. So for people with tinnitus, of course, meditation is going to be incredibly helpful. I really encourage you all to take it up, learn it, go to your local meditation center, and I think it makes life much harder for tinnitus.